Hello mis amores and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having an amazing day. These hand movements get weirder and weirder every time. And today, you're taking center stage again. I'm ready to hear more stories. I'm ready to learn more about you, especially your dating life, and potentially judge your dating life or the person you've been dating. I just want the juice. I just want the drama. I just want the tea. I just want
everything.
We've done this before. We talked about all of your dating stories, but turns out those were not all of your dating stories. There are more. So in this video, I'm gonna react to more of your dating stories, and I'm actually really excited and also very curious.
I'm curious.
In the last video, I've heard the best dating story I've ever heard in my entire life. So it'll be interesting to see if we can top that one. Go watch that video if you don't know what I'm talking about. I wish I could tell you another embarrassing dating story. Actually, I'm glad that I can, because that would mean I would have had to have been in an embarrassing dating situation, which, lucky for me, I have not been. You'll make up for it. And I'm here to judge yours, and you're not here to judge mine, so... First and foremost, I went through all the comments under my last video, and there was some stories. I hope they're juicy because I haven't read them yet, obviously. And then I also asked you guys over on Instagram to send me your stories. But if you've got another embarrassing story, write it in the comment down below or follow me on Instagram and tell me about it whenever I ask you to tell me about it. Let's get started. I met this guy at my friend's house for a barbecue. It's a bit awkward that he was the identical twin of my friend's husband, but what can I say? He was cute. Wait, he was the identical twin of my friend's husband. Oh, okay. I mean, you know, why not? Keeping the friend circle small. I don't know. I don't know. We had fun talking and decided to see each other again. I told him straight away that I just ended a serious relationship and wasn't looking for a boyfriend, just some fun. He agreed that he was on the same page, and we went on a few dates, hooked up a couple of times, and I thought we were just having fun and enjoying each other's company. But then things started to get weird. He started being more and more clingy and blowing up my phone, and at one point asked me, "When do you think you're going to fall in love with me?" I was shocked and said, "Never. I told you at the start I wasn't interested in a serious relationship, and you told me you weren't either. I think we need to stop seeing each other." Very mature, very healthy. Stating your boundaries, saying, "I want this, you want this, so we should end this." This is very good, very healthy. He was totally heartbroken and said he just thought for sure I would fall in love with him even though I didn't think so. He left me alone for a week, and then he started texting over and over asking if we could talk. I was busy working and I told him we had nothing to talk about, but he started calling over and over. I finally had to pick up the phone while working, and he started crying and telling me we were meant to be together and shortly I must see that we're soulmates. I yelled at him to stop contacting me. I never raised my voice at anyone, and I hung up on him. He finally left me alone, and I was relieved and thought it was over. I have bumped into him in my town 3 or 4 times in the years since then, and he still goes out of his way to come talk to me every time, even if I'm literally holding hands with my boyfriend. Damn, I don't know why I'm laughing. This is actually horrible. This is just all sorts of weird. It's just such a tough situation. Like, obviously he's in love with you, and love sometimes makes you do weird things that you didn't ever think you would ever do. And sometimes you cross boundaries that you shouldn't cross, but at some point you should get the hint, especially when it's not even a hint anymore. Oh my god, this is so horrible. Obviously in a lot of media, whether it's in film or TV shows or even songs, I would assume, we're being fed this image of people getting to know each other, hooking up, saying they don't want anything serious, and then it developing into something serious because they start to develop feelings and all that kind of stuff. But that happens in media, and it doesn't mean that has to happen in real life. It's just really awkward, especially when you've been so clear from the beginning that this is not what you're looking for. I mean, it's fair enough. Obviously, he can't control his feelings either. He could have just been like,
"Hey, I think I'm starting to develop feelings for you."
And then you'd be like, "Oh, sorry, then I think we should end this because you know, I don't want anything serious. That's that. Even the way he said it. When do you think you're going to fall in love with me? Who would ask that? This is just awkward. And then no matter how big the city is, you will run into him. It's just, there's no way you won't. What an awkward start to this video. That's what we're here for, right? Okay, let's move on. Ages ago, I met a guy through a friend of mine at a concert. I wasn't really interested in dating at the time, but he'd call me all the time and we shared some common interests. So I thought, fine, I'll go on a date with him. So on that day, he came with a bus since he lived in another city. I waited at the bus station. There he comes with a big flower bouquet. But as he approached me, I noticed he had a black eye. So he gave me the flowers, we went for coffee, and for over an hour, I listened about the bar fight he got in the previous night and how hungover he was. Needless to say, I never answered my phone again. I hope the flowers were beautiful. That's the only positive you can take out of that. Having a bar fight? Why? Going on a date hungover? Why? I feel like it depends on your intentions, but if you're like seriously interested in getting to know a person, you want to be like at your best, at least if you can have an influence on it. And obviously, having a hangover or not having a hangover, you can influence that. Why do the excessive drinking the night before you go on a date? And then just talking about it all the time. And what is there to talk about when talking about a bar fight? Yes, I'm immature. Okay, you know, sometimes it depends. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe he had a reason. I don't care. That's the thing. I don't care. Oh, wow. You got in a bar fight. Oh, wow. You hit him. I don't, like... Next. And was that like a way of bragging? Why would you talk about it for an hour? We move on from that bar fight. The worst date I've experienced, I met this guy who had begged to take me out. I finally decided to give him a chance and we went out for dinner. He paid for dinner and then took me to play pool and shuffleboard. Sounds great. We had a few drinks and he insisted on paying for everything. Alright, I mean, okay. Although I didn't like him paying for so much as I feel that I then owe him something. In the end, he got very drunk because he had bought so many drinks and shots. So when we went to get a car home, he randomly punched a guy in the face and ended up in this fight with these guys. Police had to pick him up. Safe to say, I never talked to him. What the fuck? What the fuck is it with guys just randomly starting why? Especially when you're on a date. I mean, it's a problem that on dates we obviously only show our best sides. It can be a problem. But like obviously on a date you would only want to show your best side because, you know, it's just what we naturally do. And then when you go out and just punch someone randomly, and maybe getting super drunk is fine when you do it together, but like when only one of the two is super drunk, it just gets really awkward. Why would you just randomly punch someone on a fucking date? What is it with people getting into fights? I can't even imagine getting in. Like, you guys probably can't imagine me getting into a fight either. Fine. I don't think that's a bad thing. Well, after that, I hope you didn't feel bad that he paid for all of that, because if you had paid for just anything, he would have had to pay you back. I'm just saying. I hope this is not another fight story because I can't take one more. I went on a date with a guy once that boasted about being really rich the whole date. Okay, fine, I'm out. When I say that you want to show your best side only, I don't mean talking about how rich you are for hours on end. This is not what I mean. Which was a turnoff for me, and he tried to put his hands up my skirt, and when I told him I'm not gonna sleep with him on the first date, he said, I've never not had sex on the first date. And then refused to pay for the drinks after that, and even walked me to the cash point at the bar, as the bar only accepted cash to make sure I would pay for the drinks and not do a runner. Ew, what is it with toxic, insecure, little disgusting as men? What is this behavior? I just cannot wrap my hand around people actually being like that. And then if you were so rich, why can't you pay for my drinks just because I don't want to have sex with you? Like, I'm just so disgusted. I hope you didn't pay for his drinks as well. Next, one of my friends sent me a story. I'm not sure if I know this one. So I was studying at university with my friends. My best friend took my phone in the middle of it and texted the guy I was talking to, asking if we should meet up. We just texted up until this point and had not seen each other yet. Of course he agreed. Of course he agreed. And I didn't know anything yet. Later, while I checked my messages, I saw it. However, we drove home, I got dressed and got ready to go on a date with him. That's so spontaneous of you. I could never. If someone just arranged a date for me and it'd be a surprise for me, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I would have to mentally prepare for that. Give me 4 to 6 business days. Okay. I'm a little bit more spontaneous than that. He called me just to make sure where exactly to meet up, and he asked via the phone if he should bring his iPad so we could cuddle in the car later. What? Who the fuck asked that? He was really weird all of a sudden, and then my male best friend told me to go, and that it was my dare. We discussed it a little bit and decided that they should follow us. He picked me up and we went to grab a coffee at McDonald's. Oh, you did tell me that story. He didn't look like his pictures at all, and he seemed really untidy and disgusting looking. However, it got worse after that, because his views about women and mine didn't align. While we were drinking a coffee, I could see my friends on the parking spot making fun of me. Then I lied to him that my mom called me, asking where I was. Mind you, I was living alone during that time, and I think I had told him. He drove me home, and it was an awkward goodbye in the car, and none of us ever spoke to each other again. I just... Ew. Ew, ew, ew. I would not know what to do with myself if someone asked me if he should bring his iPad because he wanted to cuddle with me in the car. Who plans that? And also, why is an iPad essential for cuddling in the car? Why not do that spontaneously? Maybe you should get to know me first and see if you even want to cuddle me? And then why not invite me to your house or ask if we could go to my place, or I don't know. I don't think I can get over that. I was with my now ex-boyfriend for 13 months. We spent every day together until one day I realized I'm gay. Oh. We still talk. Haven't told him about me being gay yet. He follows me on Instagram still, so he probably knows, but I don't know. No wonder nothing ever happened between us. I mean, yeah, that's just a bit awkward. I'm sure there was a reason why you even became a couple. Maybe just hold on to that, and it's still a nice thing. And I hope you would understand. But like, it's nice to hear that you guys still talk. So this was a first date. We were already talking for a while before he finally asked me out. Starts off nicely. In fact, we talked so much that most of the day we just held hands in an awkward silence because it felt like we had nothing to talk about. That's always a bit weird. I'm like that too. I feel like I need to first test the waters via texting to see if, you know, we vibe and if it works and stuff. But there comes a point where I think you would have to see that person, because otherwise it's like, what do you even talk about? Because if you've already talked so much via texts and I don't know, maybe voice messages or whatnot, then what are you gonna talk about on your actual first date? All the first date stuff you've already talked about, like maybe you've moved on, but it's still the first time seeing each other, so it's weird to talk about, I don't know, how you felt after your grandmother died. I don't know. Yeah. At the end of the day, talk to them a little bit, ask them what they like, ask them how their day was, and then ask them if they're free next Tuesday. This is your sign. Go ask them out. Well, during one of these awkward silences, he just blurted out, "I love you." I what? Talk about an intense first date. You know, everyone has a different definition of love. I was really surprised, but this was one of my first dates. I was 16 at the time. Okay, this explains a little bit. And I had a really big crush on him, so I just went with it, ignoring what he said. I don't know, I think I would ignore it too. I'd be like, okay. Cool. I would do exactly that. Anyway, turns out he's loving. And 7 years later, we're still together. I am in shock and disbelief. What the fuck? fuck? Is that it? Is that the way to go? Is that the key to all relationships? Should I just be saying I love you on the first date? See how they react? See if it works out? I've been doing this wrong all along. I'm sorry, what do you say when someone says I love you on the first date? I would think they're joking. But then again, I mean, you've been together for 7 years now, so there must be some truth to what he said. Well, well, well. This is the last one. And it starts off with, well, well, well. Years ago, when I was about 20, 21, I was messaging with this guy who was a bit older than me, and after a few days, we decided to go out. Everything went fine, and we eventually kept on talking days later. We decided to meet again, but at his apartment. I'm not gonna go too much into details, but we got intimate. We then spent some more time together that evening, and later I got ready to go home. We greeted each other, and he told me, "You're a great guy, have a nice life." Okay, have a nice life. That alone already seemed weird to me. I messaged him a few days later asking him if he wanted to go out again, and he told me that I wasn't his type, which I can understand to a certain extent. But why and how do you get intimate with someone you don't like? So I started asking him questions, which obviously didn't get any response. I found out the next morning that I got blocked on every single social platform. No answers, no communication, nothing. I was mortified since I didn't do anything to deserve that kind of treatment. I started spiraling about how I wasn't attractive enough, or to this, to that, and all that fun stuff. Lucky I got over it after a few weeks, but still, some things just stick in your head sometimes and linger years and years. I'm definitely more aware now, but still pretty cautious when it comes to dates. Ew.
The audacity.
If you're just searching for someone to have fun with, you will be able to find someone who's like your type. There's no need to make someone else feel horrible about themselves. What do you think is that comment gonna do to that person? Or find another reason. Even if that was the case, even if that person isn't your type, don't tell them like that. Especially after having been intimate with each other. Again, human decency, kindness. Ew. And obviously you can't expect any sort of decency or any will or ability to communicate from these type of guys. But if someone asks you like, why, what the fuck happened, like talk to me about it, can you tell me some more so that I can close this chapter and just, you know, why would you then just block them and pretend like, ew. This is just absolute dog shit behavior. I'm so disgusted with people this time around. Alright, my people, we're done. This was another wild ride, but it was a wild ride that I really enjoyed. Why is it so interesting to hear about other people's embarrassing dating stories? I think you can really envision yourself in that situation. And I honestly can't wait to do this again because these are fun. I love judging your dating life. I mean, I'm not really judging your dating life. Really, today I've only judged the person you've been dating. Again, leave some more stories in the comments down below. I can't wait to do this again. That is it. Is it because I'm hungry now, or is it because this video should be over? But that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video and having fun with me. Entonces, nos vemos la próxima vez. Y bye.